Imagine this. Every word you've ever spoken, every secret you've shared, every moment you've bared your soul, all of it has been a weapon turned against you. Not by chance, not by fate, but by design. Picture yourself standing in a room full of smiling faces, your friends, your colleagues, your family, all nodding, all clapping, all praising your honesty, your authenticity. And then, in the blink of an eye, the lights dim, the smiles fade, and you're left alone, stripped bare, betrayed by the very trust you gave so freely. Why? Because you've been lied to your entire life. The fairy tale of just be yourself isn't a path to freedom. It's a leash around your neck, handed to you by a world that thrives on your weakness. This isn't a theory. This is the raw, unfiltered truth of power, and it's been staring you in the face since the day you were born. 5 centuries ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli tore the veil off this illusion in the blood-soaked courts of Renaissance Italy, where daggers hid behind every velvet curtain. He saw what we refuse to admit. The world is a battlefield of masks, and the loudest, most honest soldier is the first to bleed out. His masterpiece, The Prince, isn't just a book. It's a war manual for a game you're already playing, whether you know it or not. And here's the brutal kicker. You're losing. Not because you're not smart, not because you're not kind, but because you've been taught to shout when you should be silent, to trust when you should be cunning, to bare your heart when you should be forging a shield. Today, that changes. I'm not here to coddle you with platitudes or sell you dreams of a kinder world. I'm here to arm you with the truth. Machiavelli knew. Power doesn't belong to the loud, the transparent, or the real. It belongs to the silent sovereigns, those who master the art of strategy, who wield silence like a blade, who wear masks not out of malice, but out of necessity. This is your wake-up call. The question isn't whether you'll play the game, it's whether you'll play it to win. So tell me, are you ready to stop being the pawn and start ruling the board? Let's start with a hard truth. The world you live in worships illusions. Turn on your phone right now. Scroll through Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. What do you see? A parade of perfect lives, smiling influencers sipping coffee in sunlit cafes, CEOs preaching hustle from private jets, friends posting heartfelt captions about living their truth. It's all a lie. Every pixel, every word, every hashtag is a mask, meticulously crafted to manipulate you, to win your admiration, your envy, your loyalty. And you're eating it up, double-tapping your way into their trap, because you've been conditioned to believe that transparency is virtue, that authenticity is strength. Machiavelli would laugh at this. In The Prince, he wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can feel." Translation? People don't care about your essence, they care about your image. 500 years ago, he watched princes and popes spin tales of divine right and noble intent, all while plotting murders in the shadows. Today, the stage has changed, but the game hasn't. That influencer didn't wake up flawless. She spent an hour on makeup and filters. That CEO didn't grind his way to the top. He networked, flattered, and stabbed backs when the cameras were off. And your friend's truth? A performance to keep you close until you're no longer useful. Look around your own life. That coworker who gushes over your ideas in meetings. Where are they when the promotion list comes out? That family member who swears they've got your back. Where are they when the bills pile up? We live in a masquerade ball, and the masks aren't optional. They're survival gear. The modern world screams for you to be real, to overshare, to post every thought and feeling. Why? Because the moment you do, you're exposed. Your vulnerabilities become ammunition. Your confessions become leverage. And the wolves circling you lick their lips. Here's a quick story. A young woman, let's call her Sarah, joins a startup, eager to prove herself. She's honest, hard-working, transparent. She shares her ideas freely, trusts her team, posts about her journey online. 6 months later, her boss takes her best project, credits himself, and fires her for underperforming. Her posts used to paint her as unstable, her trust a rope to hang her with. Sarah thought authenticity was her strength. She was wrong. It was her executioner. Machiavelli knew this. He saw that truth is a luxury the powerful can't afford, and neither can you. The illusion of truth keeps the masses docile, clapping for shadows on the wall, while the silent players pull the strings. So ask yourself, how long will you keep dancing to their tune? If truth is a trap, then silence is your weapon. Not the timid silence of fear, but the calculated stillness of a predator sizing up its prey. Machiavelli didn't just preach deception. He mastered the art of saying nothing when everything hung in the balance. Take Cesare Borgia, the ruthless duke he admired. When rivals plotted against him, Borgia didn't rant or plead. He watched, waited, and struck only when their guards were down, wiping them out in a single, silent blow. His enemies never saw it coming because he didn't telegraph his moves. He understood what you need to grasp. In the game of power, noise is weakness, and silence is dominion. Let's break this down. Strategic silence comes in 3 forms, and each is a blade you can wield today. First, the silence of observation. Imagine you're in a meeting. Everyone's talking over each other, pitching half-baked ideas, desperate to be heard. You sit back, listen, watch. Who's nervous? Who's bluffing? Who's got the real leverage? By the time you speak, if you speak, you've mapped the room and your words hit like thunder because they're precise. Machiavelli advised, let others reveal themselves while you conceal your intent. Modern example, Elon Musk. He's infamous for cryptic tweets that say little but spark chaos. Why? Because while the world guesses, he's already 10 steps ahead. Second, the silence of authority. Ever notice how the most powerful person in the room often says the least? A CEO doesn't need to yell, her presence commands. A parent doesn't need to argue, their pause stops you cold. Silence builds mystique, forces others to fill the void with their assumptions, and hands you control. Think of Winston Churchill during World War II. His speeches were legendary, but his silences were lethal, moments of stillness that rallied a nation by letting them feel his resolve. Today, try it. Next time someone challenges you, don't snap back. Pause. Let them squirm. You'll see who blinks first. Third, the silence of retribution. This is the dagger's edge. When betrayed, don't scream or curse. Plan. A friend stabs you in the back. A colleague undermines you. Say nothing. Smile. Retreat. Then, when the moment's right, act decisively, silently, irreversibly. Machiavelli loved this. He wrote of princes who feigned friendship with foes, only to crush them when their trust was won. Modern twist. That co-worker who took your idea. Don't confront them. Outmaneuver them. Win the next round so thoroughly they never dare cross you again. Here's the beauty. Silence isn't passive, it's active domination. In a world obsessed with noise, tweets, rants, oversharing, those who master silence stand apart. Try it tomorrow. Hold your tongue when you'd normally speak. Watch how people react. You'll feel the shift. Power isn't in the shouting, it's in the stillness. Silence is your blade, but masks are your armor. Machiavelli didn't just observe power, he shaped it, teaching that appearance trumps essence every time. Everyone sees what you appear to be, he wrote. Few experience what you really are. The greats understood this. Churchill wore the mask of unshakable courage, rallying Britain with words like, "We shall never surrender," even when doubt gnawed at him. Steve Jobs donned the visionary's cloak, mesmerizing crowds with his black turtleneck and grand promises, while ruling Apple with an iron fist behind closed doors. Elon Musk plays the eccentric genius, tweeting memes and riddles, all while steering empires with cold precision. These aren't men. They're personas crafted to conquer. You need this too. Not one mask, but many, each tailored to the battlefield you're on. At work, wear the mask of competence, calm, collected, unflappable. With friends, wear warmth, laugh, listen, but never overshare. Online, wear mystery, post sparingly, let them wonder. The trick? Never let the mask slip. The moment you do, you're meat for the wolves. Let's get practical. Say you're pitching a project. Don't gush about your passion. Project quiet confidence. Let your results speak. Or say a friend asks for a favor you can't grant. Don't apologize profusely. Smile, deflect, move on. Masks aren't lies. They're tools. Emotional intelligence isn't baring your soul. It's knowing when to hide it. Historical proof. Napoleon Bonaparte. He didn't just win wars, he won minds, spinning tales of destiny and glory while quietly outflanking his enemies. His soldiers adored him not for his truth, but for the legend he built. Today, influencers do the same. Curated feeds, scripted vulnerability, all to keep you hooked. The lesson? Power isn't being you, it's being what they need you to be. Now, the flip side. You might think, why not just be real? It's simpler, nobler. Wrong. Authenticity is a death sentence in the game of power. Nietzsche saw it too. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. Being real without strategy is suffering without purpose, a lamb bleeding its way to the butcher. Picture this. A guy named Mark, mid-30s, works in sales. He's the open book. Tells his team his fears, his dreams, his struggles. They love him for it, until a big deal's on the table. Suddenly, his honesty is instability. His rival, who kept quiet and played the game, swoops in, wins the client, and gets the corner office. Mark's left wondering what hit him. Sound familiar? It should. The world admires your sincerity, right before it uses it to gut you. Modern culture pushes this trap hard. Be vulnerable, they say. Share your story. Why? Because the moment you do, you're predictable. Your boss knows your buttons. Your friends know your cracks. Machiavelli warned against this. He who is too transparent becomes a target. Look at history. Those who bared their souls, like Socrates with his relentless truth-telling, ended up dead or discarded. The crowd loves a martyr, but they crown the masked. Even in love, it's true. Overshare with a partner, and your quirks become weapons in the next fight. Stay guarded, not cold, but strategic, and you hold the reins. Authenticity feels good until it doesn't. Then it's just you, alone, wondering why the real you wasn't enough. Enough theory, let's play. Here's your rulebook, straight from Machiavelli's playbook, retooled for 2025. Step 1. Observe like a hawk. Every room, every chat, every post. Watch. Who's posturing? Who's scared? Knowledge is your first weapon, and silence gathers it. Example. Next team call. Mute yourself. Note who interrupts, who flatters. You'll see the chessboard. Step 2. Adapt like water. Masks shift with the tide. At work, be the rock, steady, unyielding. At home, be the breeze, light, disarming. Online, be the enigma, sparse, sharp, untouchable. Napoleon flowed between general and god, and it built an empire. Step 3. Deceive when needed. Not malice, strategy. Feign interest to dodge a fight. Play dumb to catch a liar. Churchill hid Britain's desperation from Hitler, and it won the war. Today, dodge a toxic debate with a nod and a pivot. Step 4. Strike decisively. Silence builds tension. Release it with precision. That coworker who crossed you? Don't yell, outshine them. That friend who ghosted? Don't beg, thrive without them. Power isn't noise, it's results. Real-world test. Tomorrow, pick one interaction, say less than you want. Watch the dynamic shift. Then scale it. Silence at work, masks with rivals, strikes when they least expect. You're not just surviving, you're conquering. Here's the line in the sand. The world won't change. It's a coliseum, and you're in it. Will you remain the gladiator who roars and bleeds, or rise as the silent sovereign who rules unseen? Machiavelli didn't write for dreamers. He wrote for doers. Fortune favors the bold, he said, but boldness isn't noise. It's cunning. It's control. It's the courage to play the game others deny exists. Look inside. How many times have you been burned by trust? How often have you shouted when you should have schemed? The masks of others have shaped you. Now it's your turn to shape them. Start small, a pause instead of a plea, a smile instead of a spill. Then build, craft your persona, wield your silence, win your wars. This isn't a lecture, it's a command. Subscribe if you're ready to master this. Comment below. How have you been played and how will you play back? The war of masks rages on and there's no opting out, only winning or losing. In a world screaming for attention, the quiet conqueror reigns. Rise or fall. Your move